I hope it's enchiladas because I made salsa. So we're gonna have salsa with whatever we have. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Pavonine Studios Beauty and Art. If you're new here, my name is Amy. Today I thought I would just kind of not really have a focus or anything like that necessarily in my video. I just wanted to come on here and, I don't know, do my makeup and chat a little bit and tried a couple of new things that I recently got in the mail. So I think today I'm going to just do my makeup on camera and try out a few new things. And I got recently the ColourPop gel liners. I bought 2 of the like sets of them, and I'm kind of excited to try a couple of those, or at least one of them. And I think today for my eyes I'm just going to use the Malicious Women Company, the Pure Fuckery palette, and probably the Personal Shit Show, depending on what I decide, you know, I want to do with my eyeshadow. I think I'm also going to pull in one of my new JD Glow Galaxy shadows. At least that's kind of the plan that I have here. I have one that's kind of a blue-purple sort of situation, and it's real pretty when I swatched it, so I wanted to put that on my eyes. I'm wearing kind of a pink top, and so I just wanted to, you know, play around a little bit with that. I just got out of the shower. Did I say that it was Sunday, September 27th, 2020? I was thinking about how it'd be kind of cool to like actually say what date and stuff that I'm doing this video, so that you can kind of see the time lapse between when I actually do something and when I upload it, which isn't usually very long. And I noticed when I was editing a couple of my last videos, the ones that went up last week, that everything was really crooked. Like the background was crooked and I was off center, and I'm hoping that I can do better today. We'll see. I check my monitor and it looks fine, but then I look at the footage and it's like, nope, that's all wrong, honey. Speaking of saying the word, which we weren't speaking of it, but I'm gonna speak of it now. I saw this video on, I think it was a reel on Instagram. It was about boosting your confidence as well as boosting the perception of your confidence by trying to avoid saying the word just. So instead of saying, I'm just gonna do my eyeshadow today, or I'm just gonna go ahead and prime, and I'm a terrible offender at saying the word just, and it hadn't ever really occurred to me before I saw that little reel or video or whatever it was. But I thought, you know, that's really kind of true, that those kinds of little interjections can really make you seem less articulate, less confident. I'm priming my eyes with the Anastasia Eye Primer. I'm going to try not to go too crazy with this because I put this on the other day and I got really a lot. There are, of course, other offenders of this kind of, what would you call it? Like ways that your language, your personal lexicon, the words that you use can really elevate or bring down how, for sure, other people see you, but also the way that you, I think ultimately, almost on a subconscious level, perceive yourself. And it's so easy to put in a lot of extra words, ums and ahs and so's and all of that kind of thing. And I do it too. I absolutely do it too. I'm a terrible offender of this, and I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to pause a little bit more, and I already put a lot of pauses in my talking and stuff sort of naturally. I don't know why that is. It's just, I think especially when I get on camera, I just want to be more thoughtful, more, not careful exactly, but more thoughtful of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I'm going to put in a little side note here that I'm completely and totally sort of talking off the top of my head here, and I don't have a plan. I don't have notes. I should probably be more prepared to film a video like this. And usually I am. Usually I don't necessarily make a lot of notes, but I definitely think a lot about what I want to do in a video, the kinds of things that I want to say, which is a good thing, because if I didn't do that, I would probably forget 90% of what I want to say, and I forget to say things anyway. For example, I put up my empties video last week. I'll link that above if you haven't seen it or you want to see it. And there were so many things that I thought, you should have said this about that product or that about this product, and why didn't you? And partly that was because I wanted to do it kind of off the cuff and on the fly so that it didn't go on too long. And I thought that maybe that would be something that would help me not just drone on or give you all the call outs and the facts and everything about whatever product I was telling you I had finished. But in the end, when I was reviewing the footage and before publishing it and all that, I thought, oh man, I should have said this, like this is a kind of an important and salient fact about this product that people might want to know or need to know. And I didn't do it. And I couldn't even really go back and refilm it because I had already thrown out and recycled all of the bottles and packages and everything. So that's something that I need to improve upon. That being said, I do like watching videos that are a little bit more casual. They might be very planned, but I think that if the creator comes across as being sort of genuine, not that a nicely planned, lots of notes type of video is a bad thing, or that it means that they're not being truthful or something like that. I know that at least from my own perspective, from the way that I do things, that's not the case at all. But I like a video that seems casual and yet is informative. I mean, who wouldn't like that? Who wouldn't like that sense that the person that you're watching is talking directly to you and sharing with you on a very personal level what they're putting on their face or what their favorite products are really like, or giving you sage advice about saving your money on this crappy product and buy this other product instead, something like that. Part of the reason that I think people in general like YouTube in general is because of that personal connection, personal friend-like voice. I'm always thinking about ways that I can improve that, because that's the thing that I want the most out of my YouTube channel, and the hopefully someday worthy connections that I make via my YouTube channel. Now that hasn't really happened yet, and I realized yesterday that I'm asking people to do the things that I personally am not very good at. specifically things like commenting. And I always try to remember to like a video, assuming I liked it. I don't give things a thumb down because I just think that's, you know, I don't know. I just don't like that, because I watch a video that I think is great and I see, you know, 147 thumbs down, and I'm like, who's thumbing down this video? That makes no sense. That was a great video, good information, a likable creator, all those things. But I am asking for people to like and subscribe and comment and all those things, and while it hasn't happened yet, and I'm okay with that, I realize that this is a journey, it's a process, it's not going to happen overnight. I've only been doing this since May, I think, of this year, and so I'm an incredibly new YouTuber, and there are millions of YouTubers out there, millions, and that's a big pond, a really big pond. And I don't personally know if I have the thing that it takes or the capacity to be one of those creators that people are really, really drawn to. That sounds like I'm being self-deprecating, but I don't really feel that. I feel like that is a more of an honest assessment of the kind of person that I am, of my personality. And I think that you can be practical and realistic about who you are as a person, the kind of person that you are, how you socially interact with people, either in real life or online, and understand that maybe that's not your forte, and try to improve upon that without it being a like self-deprecating or negative talk, negative self-talk. Because I think that trying to modify or tamp down your negative self-talk is a journey that most of us are on. Most of us are trying to figure out a way to not do that to ourselves. I'm definitely on that journey myself. I am not an unconfident person. I'm not saying that I'm not a likable person, but I think that there's something about me that comes across as being a little bit, at least this is true in real life, I don't know about online or on camera, that is a little scary or intimidating. And I remember this gal that I knew in college, so this was like a million years ago. What was I? Probably 19 or so. Something like that, 18 or 19. This was my freshman year in college. I remember this gal, and she was super sweet, really cute, just really, just nice. And I liked her immediately. And for the life of me, I can't remember her name. I wish I could, and maybe it'll come to me. I remember her telling me, when I first met you, and you scared the shit out of me. And I was like, what? Why? She's like, I don't know. There was just something about you that was just a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary. I said, well, I hope you don't feel that way anymore. And she's like, oh no, I don't feel that way anymore. We weren't like super good friends or anything, but over the course of the year, when you're living in the same dorm and stuff, you get to know people. That comment from her has always kind of stuck with me. I've had other people make similar comments, none of which are out of any kind of malice or anything like that, so I don't want anybody to think that. It's something that's always given me a little bit of pause. I've had people say, when we go out, I feel like you're the one that gets the the attention. And this is not something that, and I don't mean like a superstar, you know, walking into a restaurant with her entourage behind her, that kind of attention. Just like, for example, in a store or something like that. I'm the one that could always get a salesperson's attention or whatever it was that I needed. I had never really thought about that, but I'm like, yeah, I guess that's kind of true. Part of it, I think, is because I have a big sort of presence. I'm pretty tall. I have always dressed in such a way that was a little bit more, you know, a little more different, a little more flashy, whatever, depending on the time of my life and the kind of stuff that I was into at the time. I think that coming on to YouTube and trying to make something of this, whatever that something might be, is making me realize that the differences between a real life encounter with somebody and an online encounter with somebody. Watching their video versus having a conversation with them about the same stuff. And trying to bring across that, sort of innate power / presence that I tend to have in real life is proving to be quite different online. Because if you're in a room with 20 or 30 other people demanding attention or just being a presence that people not even gravitate towards, because I don't feel that. I feel like my physical presence is the thing that keeps people at bay. It's the thing that keeps people from coming up to me and engaging with me, which is unfortunate, because it's like I'm a nice girl. I try to be genuine, I try to be honest. The thing that I think that I need to work on the most as far as engaging with people in general is that, because I'm actually kind of a reserved, and shy is not really the right word. And if I say shy, I feel like that takes away from the people who actually do struggle with or are genuinely shy, because I don't feel shy. I feel, a lot of times I almost feel a little emotionally disengaged, and that in turn makes me not, relate to people in such a way that I actually think to ask somebody about themselves. So it feels a little bit like a kind of selfishness, or maybe not selfishness. I don't think I'm a selfish person, more like self-centeredness. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know exactly why I do it, because on one level I think, no, I'm not a self-centered person. I think a lot about other people and how they feel and what they're thinking and so on and so forth. But thinking all those things doesn't necessarily lead me to voicing questions or engaging with them in such a way that my curiosity or my thoughts sort of get voiced. And so I feel like there are a lot of missed connections with people because I am that way. And I think that's really unfortunate. I mean, that doesn't do me any good. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that part of the reason that I am making this video is because I think, well, how can I expect other people to engage with me on not even a personal level, but just engage, just to say I really liked what you did, or I have a question about what you did, or what do you think about this product, or whatever the kind of stuff that people comment about on beauty YouTube channels or art channels or any of those kinds of things. And that's a pretty color. Not to get distracted, but that was the color. Let me tell you what the color was. That was the JD Glow Galaxy shade in Insane, and it's a really pretty duochrome, sparkly. I like it. So anyway, what's my point? What is my point? I don't know. Maybe I don't have a point today. I mean, that's definitely a real possibility. It's like, what am I even doing this for? I'm not sure. I am going to use a couple of those ColourPop liners that I picked up. So this is the, does this have a color? Do these have colors? This is the color Piggy Bank. And I put a little bit of one of these in my waterline yesterday, and it stayed. I was impressed. So I guess my point is that I'm trying to figure out ways that are genuine to me and the kind of person that I am, and real in the way that I talk or explain stuff or anything like that, that will connect with people on a level that I so far have not achieved. And I understand that, again, that I'm very, very new at this, and as this video is being made, I have 17 subscribers. That's, I'm thrilled that I have 17 subscribers, because I could have none. But I don't think that anybody starts making YouTube videos and then is content with 17 subscribers or whatever your personal number is. Now, I don't have a personal goal as far as how many subscribers I would like to have. I hadn't really given it a thought, because right now everything seems kind of unachievable. What I do know is that it's more than 17, because I think you have to have more than 17 to have engagement with your subscribership, the people that watch your videos. That's a really nice color too. This is the color DTLA, which probably stands for something, but I have no idea what it is. The only way that I know to do that, to achieve that, is to be a little bit more open, a little bit more personal, all the while, of course, knowing that the internet is it's a big place, it's a scary place. People can be incredibly thoughtless and cruel and all those things. I always endeavor to not be those things when I engage with people, but I see it. We all see it. We see the trolls, we see the people that are just make, in my opinion, cruel comments for absolutely no other reason than, I don't know, makes them feel better. They think they're gonna get a laugh. I don't know, they're having a bad day. It could be a million reasons. And I had to sort of have that talk with myself about, okay, what happens when? What happens when somebody comments something that's ugly, that is hurtful, that is designed to hurt your feelings? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna feel? Well, there's no way that I can know how I'm gonna feel until it happens, and so far it hasn't. So far, 98% of the comments that I receive, which aren't very many, are supposed links to, questionable videos or websites or whatever. I delete those, because I'm like, don't be crapping up my channel with your hot girls dot whatever to you know, no, don't do that. Find somewhere else, because I'm like, that's a waste of my time. That's a waste of your time if you care about such things. Because honestly, who is going to come to my channel that's looking for a foundation review or something like that, and is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to check out that video or link or whatever to some questionable website. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the motivation is, it's like, what outcome are you expecting there? I don't get it. But so if you haven't already figured it out, I am definitely talking off the top of my head with absolutely no plan here, which is why this video is going to be long, which is why this video is probably not going to get very many views. But I feel like, you know, I have to try to figure out what it is that seems real to me, true to me, but will still garner interest and engagement with the people that do come here, whenever that might be. You know, if this is 10 years down the line and I'm still doing this, then wow, go me. And still create things that people want to see. Even if they just want to see me put on my makeup while I'm chatting because they enjoy how I do it or whatever. Even if they're not here necessarily to learn something. And I personally don't, at this point, after so many years of doing my own makeup, and I've been doing my own makeup for, it was one of the first things that I did when I got my driver's license was, I'm going to the drugstore so that I can buy eyeliner or something like that. It was like one of the first things that I did. And I've always been interested in it. I always liked it. I wish I knew then what I know now, but of course products and stuff are completely different now. So there's that. So in that respect, I'm a little jealous of the young gals that are, you know, just coming into this kind of stuff, makeup and YouTube and Instagram and all that stuff, because I hope they realize how lucky they are to have all of those resources, however double-edged social media can be. It's definitely a bonus to have those kinds of resources, to find out about products, to find out techniques. Back in the 80s, when I only had access to Orange CoverGirl clean makeup or whatever it was called, which I don't remember actually buying. Maybe I did, but you know, I had friends that bought it and everything like that. So they're so lucky to have those kinds of resources and the kinds of products and all of those things now. And you know, I hope they take advantage of it. I hope they learn from it and explore and grow. But for me, all of this YouTube stuff and everything, I've been watching YouTube for probably, I don't know, a decade or so. It's just one of those things that I really enjoy it. I really love it. I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton because I didn't have that when I was 20, when I was 25. But I thought, okay, I've got to figure out something. There's no way that I am the kind of person that is going to come up with the next viral video. It's just that's not who I am. That's not the kind of even content that I'm interested in creating. I know that's the kind of stuff that can really put people on the map, and that's great. You know, I wish I was that kind of person. I really do. Things would be a lot easier if I could just come up with that viral video that, you know, 1.5 million people watch in the first hour or whatever. But I'm not, and that's okay. So all of that being said, what, and I touched on some of this stuff in my intro video, my really long intro video. It's like, who does that? Who puts up an hour-long get to know me video as one of their very first YouTube videos? That would be me. I did that. And I'm not sorry that I did it or anything like that. I've done lots of things since then. I'm trying to be consistent. That was one thing that I picked up over and over again on channels and blogs and things like that, where they gave you advice about how to do your YouTube channel, how to make it a good channel, and that was being consistent. So I'm trying very hard to do that. That was the CeraVe sunscreen that I've been liking so much, and I feel so proud of myself for really jumping on the sunscreen wagon in the last couple of years. I wish I would have known about sunscreen or been more devoted to it way long time ago. Sunscreen wasn't the thing. People didn't talk about it. It was the kind of thing that you put on when you went to the beach, and I grew up in the desert, but it was really hot and sunny and all that, so it would have benefited me to wear sunscreen back in the day, but I'm doing it now. So if you're a young person and you're on the sunscreen bandwagon, congratulations. You're gonna thank yourself in 30 years. So I think for my foundation, I'm trying to decide, guys. I'm trying to decide if I want to use this new Tarte Seawater foundation that I picked up in the shade 15N Fair Light Neutral, or if I want to go in with a trusty old favorite. And I am going over, it says to shake well, so we're shaking well. I'm going over to my brother and sister-in-law's house today for enchiladas, I hope it's enchiladas, because I made salsa. So we're gonna have salsa with whatever we have. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and do the Tarte Seawater because I'm feeling dangerous. Not really, but it's a new thing for me, and I do want to give it a little bit of review. And if I think of it, I'll either add to the description or pin a comment or put a check-in or something in here so that I can give you a few more thoughts about it. But I didn't really want to go into like a special video all for this. At any rate, so what is it that I want? Like, what are my dreams for my YouTube channel? And I'm a very impulsive and yet practical person. That's the Gemini in me, I think. So it's like, okay, I know that I have to be practical. I have to be realistic about my expectations for my channel, because if you're not realistic, at least to some degree, I feel like you just set yourself up for disappointment, for lack of a better word, or for feeling like a failure. And been there and done that, so it's not like I don't know what that feels like, because I do, and I think most of us do. I want more subscribers, and I want more engagement with those subscribers. Real engagement, not go visit my video, hotgirls.whatever. I'm just making that up. As far as numbers go, and I mentioned this I think in a recent video, I want to get to 100 subscribers. I don't think that's unrealistic. I don't think it's unachievable. I think that's, why 100? Because at 100 subscribers, you get to have a channel name that is your channel. So it's like youtube.com/Pavonine Beauty. That's basically what it would be. Or Pavonine Studios, depending on what I do with it. And to me, that's really important, because that's the kind of thing that I can put on business cards or in a signature at the bottom of emails, that kind of thing. And it's manageable. It's it's obvious. It's not youtube.com plus a bunch of letters and numbers. So that's the main motivation right now for having 100 subscribers. And I've got a lot to go, and I understand that, but I do feel like it's achievable. So I think that color's okay. This is probably I was pretty generous, so I'm going to say that was probably a medium coverage foundation, and I went in with like a dropper full and then a half dropper, so not tons of foundation, I don't think. It feels nice. It feels very sort of moisturizing. I'm going to give that a minute to sort of set down, and then I'm going to go in with my sponge. I got this one at Yes Style. If you saw that video, I'll try to remember to link that. I can never remember which side to point to the cards. I will link that above so that you can see it. But I got this set of 3 for, I don't know, $7 or $9 or something like that. Super inexpensive, and they're really nice and bouncy. And you know, I know people go crazy over the Beauty Blender brand of sponges, but I just don't like them that much. I think they're kind of rough, and I just don't think they're worth the price. That's just my opinion. You know, I think that if you are a beauty YouTuber especially, you don't go into making videos without thinking about monetization and PR. It's just, you just don't, because you've seen other people's PR hauls, or you know, watch the ads and stuff on the channels that you frequent, all those kinds of things. And I personally, I don't love ads, but especially if it's a favorite YouTuber, I do try to, you know, just sit it out. I mean, we lived all of our lives, or most of our lives, watching television with no DVRs, no VCRs, no, you know, none of that stuff that let you fast forward through commercials. And now you can do all that. So, you know, I understand I understand why advertisers do it. I feel like that's really pretty. I'll be interested to see how it wears. So with regards to monetization and PR, that is so far down the road for me at this point that I can't even really conceptualize it. I can't imagine being at the point in either subscribership or views or anything else where some company, however big or small or whatever, feels like it would be worth it to send me product to review, or to, you know, to try, or whatever. That is so far down the road for me that it's like, I don't know. It looks like it's great, you know, and lots of fun, and monetarily speaking, it's definitely helpful, because right now everything that I put on my face I buy myself, and that's a whole other topic that I'm hoping to get into at some point. You would be full of bullshit if you started a channel and said, you know, I don't care anything at all about all that stuff. I can almost guarantee that that's not really true. It's definitely not true for me. I mean, I care about it, but right now it just seems so, not impossible, but just so far down the line that I can't even conceptualize it, like I said. The main reason, of course, that I'm doing what I'm doing is because I feel like I have something to share, and not anything earth-shattering. I'm not I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a 51-year-old woman out here that likes makeup and likes to play and likes to push the boundaries just a little bit for somebody that's my age. I hate that. I hate that kind of talk, but you know, it is what it is. It's out there for sure. That's super important to me. That desire to share and to connect with people. I mean, it really, for me, it really is about trying to connect with people and be somebody that they like, that they want to spend time with, that they value the opinion of. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like, I think that a person is full of crap if you say at least too heartily, I don't care what other people think of me, or I don't care if you like me or not, or whatever. That, to me, that's like, who doesn't care about stuff like that? I mean, I for sure care about things like that, but I'm also confident enough or strong enough person that I'm going to say, I'm going to do, wear, whatever, the things that I like, the things that bring me joy. To me, that's really important. It's important to me. It always has been. It's always been important to me. It's always been the thing that drove me to dress the way that I did, or wear my makeup the way that I do, and it's certainly not that I haven't had my share of hateful, nasty things said to me, because I have. Not as many as some people, I'm sure, more than others, I'm sure, but I think that kind of thing is a very human experience. I think there's very few people that don't have some kind of thing like that in their life that they have experienced at whatever level. Very glowy. This foundation is very glowy, and I went over that with a cream bronzer, the Fenty bronzer. In that vein, I am going to go over this with a cream blush. This is the new NYX, at least I think it's new, Sweet Cheeks liquid blush. And let me break the federal code here. These have like a doe foot applicator. It looks just like a lip gloss type of applicator. And if I remember right, these dry down super quick. That's a really pretty color. Is that too corally to go with my... Nah, it'll be all right. We're gonna go with it. And again, this is something that I like to pick up on a brush. Do not dab this on your face directly, people. That's your PSA for the day. These have lots of pigment, so should you wish to try them, and I believe they are fairly matte, if I remember right. And they are pretty though. And I think a pretty nice alternative to the Rare Beauty ones, which are a little bit more. These and the Cheek Heat from Maybelline, and the oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of the one from CoverGirl, but that's also pretty nice. So these have, that's a lot of blush, Amy. That's all right. We're gonna go with it. Just a little bit up on my, oh my god, you guys, me and my hair, I swear to God. We'll just do a little bit. This is one of the Real Techniques brushes that's super like, it's like a duo fiber, super airy, and I find it really nice for this kind of thing, for putting on blush, bronzer, that sort of thing. I'm gonna grab a clean one of those, and I'm just gonna go over all that, sort of just make sure everything's nice and smooshed together. Yeah, these are pretty matte, and they do dry down. You can totally blend these with your, like if you wanted to pick this up on your fingers and then pat it in, I think you could totally do that. It's just not the way that I like to put things on, but it really does blend out really pretty. And there's a little bit of a sheen to it, but it doesn't feel tacky. So I kind of appreciate that. So I am going to powder just a touch with Bare Minerals. I'm so close to being out of this, you guys, and I'm kind of excited because I never finish stuff, like never. So the very idea that I might actually finish something like a powder is is kind of exciting. Oh, the things I get excited about are maybe different from what you get excited about. We're just going to do the T-zone right now because I'm going to put a little concealer on. But I do want to set that in place, that foundation, just in case it's one of those that's dewy enough that it never does fully set down, and it might be. I don't know. This is my first time trying it. So I think that if I'm being totally honest, if not like complete, I guess, in my thoughts about in the kind of stuff that I hope to get, is that, yeah, that engagement with people, to be able to have, you know, conversations or get to know people. I don't know, I really want that. Why? I guess maybe it's because I don't, since I'm an artist and stuff, I don't work outside the home, although I'm seriously considering getting trying to get a job. I haven't had a job in a really long time, and I'm very sort of thankful, and I recognize the privilege of that. But of course, part of the reason that I didn't have a job for a really long time was that my mom lived with me and I was her caregiver. So that was 15 years of my life that we spent together. I really want that engagement, because I don't, especially now in 2020 with COVID and all that stuff, I just, you know, you just don't have the opportunities and stuff to get out and bond with people, meet people, spend time with people, except the people that are already in your lives. And my God, I'm so thankful for the people I already have in my life, because I think that without that, and I went, you know, I don't know, a couple months or something without seeing my brother and sister-in-law. And that was really hard. I mean, we did it because we wanted, you know, everybody to be safe, and we didn't really, you know how all this was going to go down, but that was really hard not seeing them. So I'm really thankful for the people that I have in my life, but I guess I just want more. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I just want a little bit more than that. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, now that I've said that, it's like, why isn't what I have and who I have enough? And I guess it's not so much that it's not enough. Maybe it's just a human thing where, yeah, I have enough, but I still want more. And that's a thing on so many different levels. I mean, it truly is. Y'all know I can't talk while I'm doing my lips, right? That is the Essence Girl Next Door liner, which I don't think they make this anymore. Or if they do, it's only available on their website or something like that. I think that's insane, because it's like one of the best sort of nude, cool nude liners out there, in my opinion. Oh, that's really pale. Let's go over it with something. In the end, I did go in with colors from both of the Malicious Women Company palettes that I have. And I really hope they do some more. I'm not sure. The color stories on both of these are really, really nice. So I'm not sure exactly what how they could improve upon that, but they are really nice. And I don't know if these are their formulas or if these are, you know, I can't think what they call that, but where there are already ready to go sort of formulas and shades and things like that, and then you get to come up with the packaging and things. I don't really care that much about that. If an eyeshadow's good, it's good. If it's crap, it's crap. That's another thing that I'm really hoping to explore here in the next, maybe not till after the new year. I'm not sure about that. But I really want to explore my own collection the things that I have already in my bins and my drawers and my storage cabinet and all these things that I don't even remember if I like them or not. That's a terrible thing, to have so much that you don't even remember when you last used something, if you liked it. You would have thought my mama brought me up better than that, because she just was not like that. And I mentioned in a recent video how I'm so much more of a quantity kind of girl. And I think I said quantity over quality. And I want to change that. At least the quality part of it. I don't want to settle. I want to be better about forming my own opinions about stuff. And it's not so much that I don't do that, but I just want to do it better somehow. I want to be more thoughtful. I want to be more analytical about what I do, about how I evaluate the worth of things, mostly makeup, but other things too, and try to be better at it. I haven't given this enough thought to be able to say, like, in what ways I want to be better, how I am coming up short right now. But I know it's there. It's one of those things where I have the sense of it, even if I don't have the concrete words, the concrete ideas, the outline, the list. It's just a sense right now that it's like me, I am too ready to accept. I'm too willing to give something the benefit of the doubt, and I'm talking about things here, I'm not talking about people. I want to be more, I don't necessarily want to be more harsh, but I guess that's kind of the way that it ends up being, because critical is a really good word if you look at criticism as a thing that is designed to help people be better, make better decisions, or improve their writing, or things like that. Criticism should be constructive, I think. And if it's not, if it's just critical in the sense that it's like, well, this is shit, or that person is shit, and you don't ever say the whys and the hows and the reasons behind it. And I fully admit that I am not the best at explaining why I like something, or even why I don't like something. And I definitely want to get better at that. Because I think that that's really crucial, critical to having a successful, at least, makeup channel. Why would people come to my channel over the millions of other people that they could go watch if they don't get some information and some, honest opinions? And a lot of this is going to be opinions. I mean, this is a very subjective thing, because what works for me might not work for you, vice versa. The point is, I just want to be better. I just want to do better. I want to provide more. I want to connect more. And I'm trying to decide if I want to give myself any kind of timeline / deadline for this. So for example, I mean, I know it can take years for people to build their subscribership and, achieve some of those big goals. that there are on YouTube. Monetization and sponsorships and PR and 100,000 subscribers and whatever, whatever a person's personal goal is. It can take years. And I do understand that. And I'm a pretty patient person, and so I feel like I don't have a problem waiting for that. But of course I want to do the things that are going to make that happen. So it's like, do I give myself, and I don't have the answer to this, do I give myself a year? So till May of next year? Or 2 years? Should I put that kind of limitation on things? And I guess, again, this is kind of a two-sided sword, for lack of a better word, that there are pros and cons to both ways of thinking. There are pros to giving myself a deadline of sorts, but there are also pros to saying, let's just keep at it. Just keep going. Do what you're doing. Improve as you go. And see what happens. Maybe it happens in a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years, maybe never. And hope that at some point it will be clear that, okay, this is not really working. This is not going the way that I thought it would or want it to, or whatever. And now is the time to go ahead and let it go. Right now I don't have that sense at all. For now, I'm just gonna kind of keep plugging along, do what I've been doing, try constantly to improve upon what I'm doing, think up the new stuff that I want to do on my channel, and the products that I want to review, and all those things, all while being true as I can be to myself, as real as I can be, as I know to be, given that most people, I think, tend to filter themselves a little bit with what they say and how they act and stuff in a social situation. Maybe not with your spouse or your partner or your kids or whatever, but in general, the people that you encounter, maybe coworkers, that kind of thing. I think you do tend to kind of modify sort of the animal instincts that maybe you just want to rage at somebody or say something snarky when it's really not called for. I don't know, that kind of thing. It's all about balance. Balancing the things that I want, the things that I feel like I need from this in particular, with who I am as a person, with wanting to constantly try to improve myself as a person and as a YouTube creator. I mean, that's a lot of things to balance. That it really is. And not only is it a lot of things to balance, but it's a lot of potential pressure to put on myself or yourself if you're also a creator or want to be one. I should have put on setting spray before I did my mascara. Damn it. Let's do a little dandelion. Is that what this shit's called? Yeah, dandelion twinkle. I've had this for a really long time and I never use it. Why don't I use this? It's pretty. What's wrong with me? See, but this is the thing I mean. I want to be better about appreciating, using the things that I have, that I love, or maybe I don't even know if I love them or not because I haven't used them enough. And I think especially right now because of COVID and all that I think there is kind of a renewed interest in people's collections and the things that they already have and showing those, and especially if they're things that are still available. A lot of things that I have I don't think are, not because they were limited edition or whatever, but just because they've been discontinued for whatever reason. So that's kind of a challenge, but I still think that there's stuff to be learned from showing off products that maybe aren't available anymore. Maybe I know of an alternative that's even better, or this looks like an alternative, but it's really not. Don't bother. I don't know, that kind of thing. I'm just talking off the top of my head, guys. That is something that I was thinking about earlier, was would people be interested in seeing and hearing about in my collection, and it's quite a collection now, of hair extensions and things like that, because my hair's it's fine. It's not terribly long, and it's super straight. It doesn't have a lot of texture to it. It's just one of the things that I've never personally liked that much about my appearance. It's always something I've kind of alternatively fought with and sort of not given a crap about. But I have a lot of different kinds of extensions, like ponytail extensions and things like that. Some are definitely better than others. I have not so far spent a lot of money on anything real, like the real extensions. I do have a set of clip-in extensions that are not my color right now. I bought them when I was blonde, so I don't know, a few years ago. So obviously I don't wear those, because that would be strange. Or maybe it would be cool. No, that would be strange. I'd like to buy things like that, but I don't. So far, I just haven't pulled the trigger, because like 100% human hair it's pretty expensive. So you have to be kind of careful, I think, when you go to buy stuff like that. So far, most of my things are synthetic. And so therefore I have quite a few of them, because if they're synthetic, you can't do as much to them as if they're real hair. So some of them you can straighten and things like that, but you can't color them, that kind of stuff. That's just like one thing on my list of things to do. I'd like to do some more stuff about foundations and skincare. I can't settle on a lip color today. I don't know what my problem is. That's like, which of the 5,000 nudes that I have is gonna make me happy today? I like these Maybelline ones, they smell good. These are the ink crayons. I wish they had more colors. More nudes. I wish they had more nudes, let's be honest. I think that is gonna do it for the makeup. I'm gonna go make another coffee, and I'm gonna put my lashes on. This is my ritzy lashes that I got. This will be the second or third time I've worn them, so I do love a fresh pair of lashes. Of course, these aren't totally fresh, but I'm kind of an abuser of my lashes. I do clean them and stuff, but I'm pretty rough with them, I think, in general. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go ahead and make another coffee, put my lashes on, and I will come back, and I'm gonna try to figure out some kind of way to wrap up this video. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I finally got my hair up and earrings on, lashes on, etc. I do have just a few more things that I want to touch on before I close out of this video, and one of them is for like a personal goal. I also want to try to reignite my interest in doing art. And I easily call myself an artist, but the truth is that the last year, maybe a little more than a year, it's been a struggle, and I haven't really created very much in the last year, and that makes me, well, it makes me sad on one level, and it makes me feel like a failure on another level, because I can't honestly call myself an artist unless I'm producing art, or at least that's how I feel right this minute. I want to sort of reignite that passion and that love of my art, and I feel like I did so well last year in the spring and summer months of 2019. And then in July of 2019, everything just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of left me. I am trying to commit myself to the idea of reigniting that passion. And I know that one of the things to do that will be to get into my studio and reorganize things and put things away. And because it's become a catch-all in the last 6 months especially, and I don't like that. That's not the purpose of a studio. A studio is not meant to be a catch-all for the things that you don't know what to do with, or the things that you can't find time to deal with, or whatever the case might be. And yet that's exactly what it's become. While I do my editing and so on down there, and I've done a few things, like I've made masks, I haven't painted, I haven't really sewn, I haven't done any kind of junk journaling, if you know what that is. I just haven't. I gotta stop saying just. I gotta stop it. I haven't done anything in nearly a year that is in-depth and meaningful and productive, and I want to change that. Initially, when I started this channel, I said that I was going to include art stuff in it, and I haven't done that, and I want to do that as well, because it's an integral part of who I am and the kind of person that I want to be, the kind of life that I want to live. And so I feel that it's a very sort of important part, an important aspect of what I hope to be some serious personal growth over the next year or so, without putting too much of a deadline on it. One more thing, I have been watching a few of, and I'm going to watch more of, Hannah Louise Poston's videos and stuff about her year of less stuff. I believe that's what she calls it. And if you don't already subscribe to Hannah, and you're interested in making the kind of journey that she made, wherein she really became restrictive and thoughtful and determined to change her habits, especially her spending habits. At least that's what I've garnered so far. And I want to do that too, partly because I think it will make me a better person, but also partly because of necessity. And I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I do hope to do some videos like that about that sort of stuff once I sort of formulate the way I want to go about it and the things that I want to accomplish with that kind of journey. And I think that I am going to leave it there, because this video, assuming that I leave most of it in, is going to be so long. And if you got this far, if you watched the whole thing, if I said anything at all that resonates with you or interests you or anything like that, please do give this video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my personal journey, which is going to include makeup. There's no way that I'm going to be abandoning makeup, because I love it too much. It's too much fun. But if you're interested at all in any of the stuff that I talked about today, or have something you want to add, or you want to start a conversation, leave me a comment. I think you can even direct message me in YouTube somehow. I'm not sure about that now that I say it, but I think you can do that. And so if you don't want it to be public or something like that, that's totally fine. I understand that. An integral part of my channel and me as a person becoming what I want them to be necessarily involves you. And so I hope that you will find enough in this that is engaging and interesting enough that you will want to join me. And so this all sounds kind of like a plea, like a pathetic plea, and it's really not meant to. But I've also found that people don't give you things automatically, that there are times that you have to ask. You have to ask for help. You have to ask for input. You have to ask for feedback. And so I am asking you for all of those things. Of course, my hope is that it will benefit me, but also that it will benefit you. I think I'm going to leave that part of the video there. We'll come back to all of that stuff, I hope, because I surprisingly had a pretty good time filming this, even though it wasn't planned. it was just sort of off the top of my head, putting to words some of the stuff that I've been thinking. Quickly, before I go, let's assess the foundation that I put on my face for the first time, the Tarte Seawater Foundation. Again, shade 15N Fairlight Neutral, and I'm glad I didn't go any darker than this, because when I was looking at this in my bathroom mirror, it's definitely plenty dark. If I like this, I might have to mix in something that's a little neutralizing and maybe a little bit lighter. Specifically, I'm thinking of the number 7 Match Made drops, which I think will do the trick and not alter the finish of this. I really like the way that it looks right now. It seems to be sitting well. It doesn't seem to be creasing or looking dry anywhere, looking heavy anywhere, nothing like that. So far I was pretty sure that I was gonna like this foundation, because I had the other Rainforest of the Sea, I think it is, foundation, and I really like that one. So I was pretty sure that I would like this one. I don't know how they're different. I'll try to figure that out and let you know in an update video. That is another thing that I'm hoping to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. I think I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification when I do upload a new video. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.